Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Maria Sorreo.
And I'm Caitlin Semko.
And we are here today at the City of Rancho Palos Verdes 4th of July celebration. Now, Caitlin, we know 4th of July means lots of good food.
Fireworks.
Lots of fun.
Flags.
That's right. And it's also the city's 40th anniversary, so let's go out and have some fun.
Let's do it.
Now, what is your favorite part of 4th of July, Susan?
To me, it's being an American and knowing and how hard people fought, declaring our independence and everything we did beyond 1776 to keep fighting and fighting to make sure that we would preserve our freedom. To me, it's acknowledging all those who fought to preserve our freedom and those who continue, and things that we can do to continue to preserve our individual freedom and protect our nation at the same time.
Now, not only is Susan going to be very busy today because you are going to be running some games and participating. Susan, tell us about that.
Well, I'm just learning about it, Maria. It's sort of on the fly. The city manager comes up to us and she says, "You're doing this and you're doing this." And so then between the council members, we have to negotiate who's willing to do what. So I am willing to be the mummy wrapped person. So for any detractors out there, you might enjoy watching me get wrapped up and mummified. But anyway, that's part of it.
Okay.
But I'm really looking forward to the hula hoop contest because I will be participating in that. We have a lot of activities. We've got our 40th tent. We'll be over there taking turns, explaining the history and meeting people.
You love what you do and you love being out in the community, which is nice.
I love it. And the best part is if you feel that you can help people. And that's the only reason I'm here, is for good governance. And so we just have to, sometimes that's a real challenge, but you know, for the most part, we move on forward and good prevails.
We are here with Efren Ramirez, who is with EDCO. Now, EDCO is a sponsor here for 4th of July. You guys always do such a great job.
Well, yes, we are very fortunate to be serving the community and very proud of participating in all the city events.
Now, we have to ask you, what is your favorite part of 4th of July, Efren?
Fireworks.
Fireworks. Okay, now what's your favorite food?
Hot dogs.
Okay, those are two really good answers.
Yeah.
Now you'll be here all day. Tell us about the bags that you're giving away at the booth.
Well, it's we are participating. We are a service provider to the city of Rancho Palos Verdes and the residents for solid waste and recycling collection. Yep. And we are very proud and grateful that we are allowed to participate and sponsor these events for the residents.
Okay, so what do the residents have to do to get a bag today?
Stop by our booth, participate in the recycling questionnaire, and earn a bag.
Tell us what you're doing here at the booth. We just saw the kids come up and they have to answer some very tough questions, don't they?
Yes, there is a quiz, but it's a everybody wins quiz. So the whole idea is for them to try to get to know more what is recyclable and what is not. So it's just like questions saying, can you recycle aluminum cans or paper or junk mail? And the quizzes are age appropriate, so some of them are easier and some of them are a little tougher, but again, even if they get it wrong, they still can win a prize.
Now show us the prizes you're giving away today, of course.
Well, for gardening lovers, there is gardening gloves.
Very nice.
And for adults and kids is these recycling bins that are also like a pencil holder.
Which is very, very, very cool. I think these are the popular prize today.
Or actually, parents sometimes want it more than the kids, believe it or not.
All right, so Jerry, on top of being the 4th of July, this is the city's 40th anniversary, so a lot to celebrate this year, but we want to know, what is your favorite part of the holiday?
You know, there's a lot. I have, coming from a military background, I take the time to remember friends of mine that have passed away and all those that have died and service to this country. You know, freedom isn't free. It's not a cliche, or it's not just a saying. It's true. And there's a lot of people that sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. So I spent some time reflecting on that. I love the patriotic music that's here. It's great every year. And all the festivities, all the kids, it's just great seeing this sense of community and everyone coming together.
Also, now, what's your favorite food, 4th of July food? Barbecue?
You know, I'm a simple guy. Hamburgers and hot dogs are always one of my favorites, yeah.
Always good to be prepared in case of emergencies. You're out here today on the 4th of July. Tell us about the booth and what people can do to be prepared.
So we're part of the, we're part of the Emergency Preparedness Committee, and my name's Tim Weiner, this is Diana Feinberg, and we advise the City Council on ways for our residents, ways our residents can be prepared for all different kinds of emergencies.
In addition to that, we go directly to residents, such as what we're doing today, to encourage everyone to be fully prepared with the supplies you need to be able to camp out at your home for up to 10 to 14 days in the event of a disaster.
The city has a lot of resources available to its residents. If you look on the table, we've got a lot of emergency preparedness guides. We're also giving away some samples, some emergency light sticks, emergency blankets, and also the city offers 3-day emergency supply kits that you can put in your car or leave in your office or even use in your home, and they're available at the Point Vicente Interpretive Center.
Always really good to have a list too, so that you can check it off, make sure your batteries are fresh, just to be prepared, just in case.
Yes, in fact, we have a checklist here for anyone to take with what you might use to build the kind of disaster supply kit that's right for your family and your home. Everyone's needs will be different depending on the size of your family, your age, and whatever. But no matter what your age or where you live in the city, you need to be prepared.
Tell us about Los Serenos and what you're doing here on the 4th of July.
Los Serenos is the group that works with the Palos Verdes Interpretive Center, and we have an outreach booth that goes to different sites, and of course the one at the 4th of July is really important because it's here at the City Hall, and the City Hall, you know, we're kind of involved with the city. We're part of the city's volunteer group. So this is the 4th year that I've been doing this, ever since I joined Los Serenos, and it's really a wonderful docent group, and we have things here. These were developed by the man that was the outreach chairman before us, Joe Moeller, who really did a lot. And we have things here that are from this area, which they call the Palos Verdes, Interpretive Center, which is like a museum type of thing, showing the local animals and their skulls, the local mammals, sea mammals, and then the kids can make rubbings of them. And we have our pins, and we have we show the shells, and we just and then our thing for our activities.
How long have you been a docent, Patsy?
3 years. 3 years. And the docent groups, they have wonderful, besides making wonderful friends, they have tours. We've gone to the U.S. Iowa. We've gone to Rancho Los Alamitos down in Long Beach, which is the Bixby estate. We're going to go to the Chen Museum in Torrance in August, and we just generally have a good time. And it's a very rewarding group to be in. I would say that of all the different volunteer groups I've been in, with the exception of skiing with the blind people up in Colorado, this has been the most fun thing.
Now, Linda, tell us about your hats. They're very unique. In fact, I know that they have been to the Kentucky Derby.
Many of my hats have been to the Kentucky Derby. In fact, they have won at the Kentucky Derby about 3 times. They've traveled to the Kentucky Derby and won. It's been always customers that have purchased the hat and have won.
Now, what's your inspiration for making such beautiful hats?
Well, this hat that I have on is a Victorian touring hat, and it's inspired from the Victorian era. And this, in fact, is the touring shawl. And it can cover you from the bugs when you were traveling in your buggy.
Wow.
Like so. And it can also be a shawl and cover. So many ways they would wear it. And also you can wear it over the top of your hat and embellish your hat. So I do the hats in every color, every style, as far as Victorian touring hats go. And then I also do the very fancy hats too. very lightweight, fancy hats. We do a lot of hats for the Del Mar races, which is coming up this month, in Del Mar. So it's a lot of fun to do the hats. It's my favorite, and each one is original and unique, and then nothing else will be repeated the same style. And I love to do custom orders for customers too.
What is your favorite part of 4th of July?
My favorite part of 4th of July really is I always read the Declaration of Independence, but I read the entire Declaration every morning because there's a whole section that lists all the reasons why they wanted to get out from under King George. And when you read all of those, you get to really understand that times haven't changed.
Not that much, huh?
Not that much. You still want to get rid of those issues with leaders.
Very nice. Now, how about food? Favorite 4th of July food?
Favorite 4th of July food? We don't have any real favorite. No, not really.
No barbecue? Or?
Oh, no, we have a barbecue, but it's not a favorite food. What I usually like is I make a strip flank steak marinated with consomme rice and a homemade Caesar salad, and I make my own dressing, and it's good.
I'm here with a program called One Book, One Peninsula, which is something the library started a few years ago, where we really are trying to encourage people to everyone read and discuss the same book. And this year we're partnering with a number of community organizations, the PV Land Conservancy, the PV Art Center, Marymount College, and the Friends of the Library to really make it a community-wide event. So our book this year is called Garbology, and it's about what happens to our trash. And it talks a lot about our community because it talks about the PV landfill and the local landfill, and we're encouraging as many people as possible to read it and then come and hear the author speak on the roof of the library on September 28th. In the meantime, all of our partner organizations have some really great activities and programs. Beach cleanups, we have a trash and fashion program at the library where you can make fashion out of recycled newspapers and magazines. Just really great activities all summer long themed around this program, and we're hoping that each year the partner organizations will choose a different book, and we're going to make this a really community-wide event every year.
I was going to say, it's kind of like a book club for the whole community.
Exactly. So the library book clubs will all talk about Garbology. We're encouraging people's private book clubs to talk about it, and as I said, we have a brochure with lots of great activities right throughout the summer and into September, and then the author will speak on the roof at Peninsula Center Library on September 28th.
In addition to your council duties, I think that you've been recruited today to do a little more than that, Brian.
That's right. I'm in charge of running the egg run, where you hold an egg on a spoon and try to go as fast as you can to the finish line.
And you have a little experience in this area?
I actually won this race when I was a kid because I used to be able to jog with an egg on a spoon. So I'm not sure if I could still pull that off, but back in the day, it was possible.
You know, this event gets bigger and bigger every year. I don't think I've ever seen this many people here.
You're absolutely right, and the people that come here to put up their booths get more and more diverse and more interesting. We've got animals, we've got the helicopter rides, we've got the pony rides over there, we've got 40-cent hot dogs, which my kids are over there, I think, in that line right now. My kids can eat hot dogs. I mean, it's while supplies last, and people better get over there pretty quick because my kids will go through them.
Absolutely. Now, as a family, what is your favorite thing to do on the 4th of July?
Well, fireworks, of course. We've got the spot that we always go to over in our neighboring city that overlooks the whole South Bay, and there's a number of different great fireworks displays that we watch from there.
I'm so happy the people came out here. There's so many wonderful things for them to enjoy, especially the kids.
Yeah.
We have all these little contests going on, and we have the 40-cent hot dogs for 16 and under, and I can see everybody just having a wonderful time.
Now, in addition to your council duties, you're going to help with other things up here. Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm not exactly sure. Something to do with rolling watermelons around, and they haven't actually told me my duties yet, but I will be prepared. I'll be ready.
Okay, all right. And then lastly, what's your favorite part about the 4th of July?
Well, we're obviously a celebration of this country, which was originally started as an experiment, as a whole new concept of people ruling amongst themselves. and it's proven itself to be the best way for people to live. And I do want to mention an honor to the veterans, present and past, that have helped protect that vision and our free society we live in.
Especially since we get to be here every day.
Absolutely, and when you have people that are free to do things, you get more from people, and the society, I think, is better as a rule. With freedom comes responsibility, as we've reminded, but still, you get the best from people in a free country.
What was your strategy out there?
Basically to eat as much of the top as possible. We had lemon meringue this year, so go after the meringue, try to get the custard, and then as best you can go after the crust. So
What do you win?
we have a frisbee from Rancho Palos Verdes, a plastic lei, and
looks like
a t-shirt.
Tell us about your children's books first.
Well, the children's books they all have a really special message that they send. I read them throughout the LA Unified School District, Palos Verdes. I've read for Whole Foods, the Land Conservancy, and they all have a message about either kindness, eating healthy food, cleaning up, being kind, not bullying. I mean, there's so many of them. There's, you name it, you've got a message.
What was your inspiration for writing those books?
Actually, the very first book was Moon Balloons, and that was my boys lost their balloon and they threw an absolute hissy fit, and they were 2 years old. And I basically, I told them, not to throw a fit. The balloons were on their way up to the moon to hold up the moon, and they had a bigger and better purpose, and maybe not that environmentally friendly, this one, because you don't want to let your balloons go, but it was, it calmed them down immediately. But all the other books, they really, like The Good Foodies is really important, I think, for kids because there's so much obesity, and it talks about, eating really just fruits and vegetables, not even breads and all that kind of stuff, but it's just fruits and vegetables, and kids get it. They know, eat your good foodies, and then you can have some of the bad foodies, as my kids call them.
There you go. Okay, so you've gone from children's books now to your own novel.
This is actually where my real passion lies. This is where I actually wrote this before I wrote my kids' books, but because my kids were always pushing the books on me, wanting me to write kids' books, I did the kids' books. But this is like this is my baby, my first one that I published.
All right, Paul, tell us about PV on the Net and the classes that they're offering.
PV on the Net has been around since the late 90s, I believe. They offer classes in animation. They offer a CAD architecture class. This summer we're offering an internship program for aerial robotics, 3D printing and engineering, which is a project that I'm involved in.
Tell us specifically about the class that you're involved with.
Our class is engineering and 3D printing. It's kind of an offshoot of the STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math, trying to get high school students interested in the engineering business early on. So what we're going to do in this program is teach the kids how to use some CAD software, and we're going to get a 3D printer and let them print things in 3D on the 3D printer. We're also supporting the robotics program where they're using some miniature quadcopters, and they're going to be programming those to do different things, and we'll be supporting that and building stuff for that program as well. Go to pvnet.com. All the programs, contact information, schedules are all there.
Talk about the book and the new book coming out.
Okay, I'm Don. I'm the author of Up Around the Bend. I'm related to John Vanderlip. John Vanderlip was my stepfather. He was the youngest surviving son of his family. He died in 2001, and right after he passed away, I went into his closet and I found a bunch of pictures and maps, and I developed this interest in the history of Palos Verdes, and the more I found, the more interested I got. So I decided what I would do is take these pictures and sell them to the public, and people just seem to love them. And about 2 years ago, when we were selling our house after my mother passed away, I met Vicki, and I came up to Vicki and we became friends, and she says, well, Don, what are you going to do? And I said, I want to write a book. She looked at me and smiled and says, I'm a publisher.
Wow.
Therefore, the rest is history.
Fate. Amazing.
Hate. And we're both Part Creek.
Your book is coming out. What is it called? And tell us what it's about.
My book is called Frank Vanderlip, the Banker Who Changed America. And Don convinced me to write this because it is the 100th anniversary of when Frank founded the Hill. And he was just about the most fascinating man that I've ever met. He was president of the largest bank in the country, which is Citibank now. He was one of the founders of the Federal Reserve System. and which is still kind of controversial to this day, which was fun to put in the book. He not only built Palos Verdes, but he built or purchased or was part of 2 or 3 other large cities all over the country that were started by him. But this was his baby. This is the place he loved. And we're such a unique place here, and it's because of the vision that Frank had in his head. So what I did in the book was look at his whole life from beginning to end to see what made him the man that he was, what made him be the man that developed what we're lucky enough to live in. So it'll be out in about a couple of weeks.
Anthony, I think that there are more residents here this year than we have ever seen before. This just gets bigger every single year.
Well, Maria, I think this has a lot to do with our 40th anniversary too. We did advertise this 4th of July event as a celebration also of our 40 years as a city, and it's a fantastic turnout. The weather's great, and it's great seeing the crowds here.
Okay, so 40th anniversary with pretty much a birthday that's going on all year, isn't it?
It's a whole year-long birthday bash. It's great. You know, RPV is such a wonderful community and a wonderful place in the world that it's just a wonderful experience to celebrate the entire year.
Something I think I've noticed in some of the booths and just talking to people is that people really are looking into the history of the Hills since its 40th anniversary, and maybe they did no information about it before, but now they're actually reading things and saying, oh, this happened then, and so a very cool birthday for sure.
It is, it really is, and regarding the history here, I think it's wonderful that we educate our residents and people who are just interested on the history of Rancho Palos Verdes, how it was acquired as a land grant, and how it developed into a city back in 1973.
Okay, so 4th of July, what is your favorite part of the 4th of July?
Fireworks, of course, but I can't partake in that anymore. Neither can anyone else in Rancho Palos Verdes. So I watch fireworks from my house. Okay. So I watch the Cabrillo Beach show. There's a show that I can see from my house down Fashion Island, and also Disneyland and elsewhere. So the whole city skyline is lit up with fireworks, and so it's kind of a great show to enjoy. I look forward to it every year.
Very nice. This is the 40th anniversary booth that has lots of interesting facts about Rancho Palos Verdes. So we'll start with the first table. Tell us what's on the table.
Okay, this table, most of the exhibits here are to do with the incorporation of the city of Rancho Palos Verdes as the 4th city in the Palos Verdes Peninsula, and just a bit about the early, the founders, and a little bit about the farming, the farmers, and as well the early city council members. And there's a picture of them right there. This table deals with the history of the whaling and the Japanese farming operations here on the peninsula. And we have a few pictures, and this is a piece of gray whale baleen. We've had a lot of people here today, and a lot of people are really interested in the different things. On the back table there we have 2 TVs. One of them is a rolling video made by our own Channel 33, and there are different folks from the peninsula giving their perspective of how the city developed and grew. And on the right-hand side there, it's a slideshow from different various aspects of the peninsula. That is a picture of Marine Land, which closed in 1986, I believe, so where the present-day Terranea is located. And the next table is just a little bit about the 40 years of achievements for the city. We have different various plaques and honorary things, and the back wall there shows the development of the city logo, and that was put together by Nathan in the city manager's office, and he did a great job.
Also the Trump National Golf Club picture that shows where Trump is now.
Yes, it shows the Trump National Golf Course, and just above that you'll see the sign that says that Trump National generously supported this booth. And the last table over here is dedicated to Marine Land, as we just saw the picture in the back there, but it's just various memorabilia. There's a menu there and some postcards and the book of people's memories of Marine Land.
We have a card out there that people are actually signing.
Yes, it's a happy birthday Rancho Palos Verdes on the 40th card, and it was made by Nathan in the city manager's office again. And we've just made it available for people to sign and give their best wishes to the city.
Well, there's nothing like good old country music to celebrate the 4th of July or really any holiday here in Rancho Palos Verdes. Right behind me, Boomer McClellan is getting ready to play. A lot of fun, but I have to ask you, what's your favorite 4th of July food?
Hot dogs.
Okay, I think I have to say kettle corn. Ooh. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, and happy 4th of July.